not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received. And it is this that we will learn today. The end of suffering cannot be lost. The gift of everything can be but gain. You only give. You never take away. And you created me to be like you. So sacrifice becomes impossible for me as well as you. I too must give. And so all things are given unto me forever and forever. As I was created, I remain. Your Son can make no sacrifice, for he must be complete, having the function of completing you. I am complete because I am your Son. I cannot lose, for I can only give, and everything be mine eternally. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received. And it is this that we will learn today. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received, and it is this that we will learn today. And it is this that we will learn today. And it is this that we will learn today. All right, a little rough around the edges there. But let's go. Let's read it. Lesson 343 in the workbook. Okay, we're getting toward the end of the workbook now. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. Paragraph 1. The end of suffering cannot be loss. The gift of everything can be but gain. You only give. You never take away. And you created me to be like you, so sacrifice becomes impossible for me as well as you. I too must give. And so all things are given unto me forever and forever. As I was created, I remain. Your Son can make no sacrifice, for he must be complete, having the function of completing you. I am complete because I am your Son. I cannot lose, for I can only give, and everything is mine eternally. Paragraph 2. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received. And it is this that we would learn today. Okay, lesson 343. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. Let's just review where we've come from. We had, what is a miracle, right? Jesus gave that discourse, what is a miracle? Then I can attack, but my own sinlessness, and it is only this that which keeps me safe. Then lesson 342, I let forgiveness rest upon all things, for thus forgiveness will be given me. That was yesterday. And now we have, I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. Now, why does Jesus say the mercy and the peace of God? Why doesn't he just say the mercy of God or the peace of God? Right? Because of course starts with the peace of God, right? Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Why does Jesus bring in the mercy? So we can see why from what he says here. The first paragraph is a prayer to God, right? To God the Father. And remember, the fatherhood of God really just means that God created his son. And his son is everyone, right? And his son is really a play. It's a homonym. It's a play on the word son, S-U-N, right? Because the son is very much like, the son of God. The son is very much like, is a great metaphor for the divine. And there's a great song by Van Morrison. I think I might have mentioned it recently. Have I told you lately that I love you? Right? And it's a love song. It's a prayer and a love song to God. And he says, there's a love that's divine, and it's yours, and it's mine, like the sun. At the end of the day, we should give thanks and pray to the one. There's a love that's divine, it's yours, and it's mine, like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and pray to the one. Right? So, the Father, we remember the fatherhood of God because we are not the author of ourselves. That's the point, is the authority problem that Jesus has been talking about since the beginning of the course. And he also has been talking about this idea that no sacrifice is, this is atonement without sacrifice. There's no sacrifice that is necessary. The Son did not need to be sacrificed, right? Jesus did not need to die on the cross. In other words, to atone for the sins of humanity. This is a very big one, because it does fly in the face of Christian theology. Depending on which Christian theology you're talking about, but for many people, this is a cardinal tenet of Christianity, which is that Jesus died for the sins of humanity. And if not for Jesus's atoning sacrifice on the cross, we would not have a way to atone for our sins. Right? So that is a belief that one who is Christian, most Christians subscribe to, which makes them a Christian. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let's not say there's anything wrong with that idea. That can be very helpful for some people, right? So let's not put that down. Everyone finds what they need in any given moment, right? So that could be very helpful for a certain, individual at a certain place in their consciousness. That can be a very helpful principle. Just like reincarnation can be helpful at a given time in your life, and maybe another time it's not so helpful. But there's a time and place for everything. So, but the Course is different, right? The Course is saying something different. The Course is saying Jesus did not need to die on the cross, but he did. It's saying he did die on the cross, but he didn't really die. But he used the cross as a way to teach that there is no death, right? The death, that love is the only reality, and that even in the midst of what seems to be the greatest suffering that one could imagine, one can still be in that place of no guilt, no fear, only love. The end of suffering cannot be loss. The gift of everything can be but gain. You only give. This is talking to God, the Father. You only give. You never take away. And you, God, created me to be like you. So sacrifice becomes impossible for me as well as you. So if God cannot sacrifice, because God can only give, God cannot take away, then that's true of me as well. I cannot, in reality, I cannot lose. And there's a great passage early in the course. I should maybe, so you can, maybe I'll open this door. It's a great passage early in the course. Not that you really need to see me, but where Jesus says, it's a famous passage that's very poetic. It starts with, "How can you who are so holy suffer?" And I've talked about this passage before. It's one of my favorite passages. Very poetic. How can you who are so holy suffer? All your sorry. We'll have to find it. Come back to it. Okay. But the passage ends with Jesus saying, the heart is pure to hold it, and the hands are strong to give it. We cannot lose. Right? It's Jesus keeps saying that actually throughout the course. We cannot lose. We can only gain. Right? There is no loss really. And ultimately there is no loss or gain because we've always been what we are. Gain and loss are just concepts, right? Mental concepts that don't really exist in reality. There's only one reality, and there's no words in that reality. There's no need for language, and there's no need for concepts. The end of suffering cannot be loss. The gift of everything can be but gain. You only give, you never take away, and you created me to be like you. So sacrifice becomes impossible for me as well as you. I too must give, and so all things are given unto me forever and forever. As I was created, I remain. That's the atonement principle. I was created just as God is, right? God is only love. In that love, there is no suffering, there is no fear, there is no guilt, there is no shame, there is no separation, there is no even need for forgiveness, there is no need for loss or gain. In that reality, there is only the eternal now, forever and forever, the one love that has never changed. That's the atonement principle of the Course. And this is atonement without sacrifice. It means reality has never changed. If it has never changed, it's still, even now, it has not changed, which means that even now, I have not changed. And even now, if I am not in the love in this very moment, then what is in the way? Right? This is one way you can look at this, is if I am not feeling the love right now, if I am not in that space of loving presence, what is in the way? What do I need to let go of? Right? What am I holding on to? What grievance or what grudge or what feeling of angst or pain, misery, anxious thoughts? What is there that is really not me, that I have accepted because I've bought into the ego thought system? And can I let that go? Your son can make no sacrifice, for he must be complete, having the function of completing you. God really does not need to be complete. This is Jesus' way of saying that when we feel complete, then God is complete. But in reality, God is complete. But we do not feel complete. So when we do reach completion, then all is right. Right? It's already all right, but that's for us to know and us to find out, right? I am complete because I am your son. I cannot lose, for I can only give, and everything is mine eternally. Right? Everything is mine. If everything is mine, then what am I seeking? What am I looking for? And let's also talk about the word give and the word forgive, right? Forgiveness and giving. Forgiving is the ultimate giving, right? And it's a reminder that there is no loss. That God is still love. We are still love. And everyone is included in that love. No one is excluded in that love. That means no one. Right? No, not a single part of creation is excluded. So if we're holding anything against anyone or anybody, then that's where that's our work to look at that and to look at that in the light of love and say, I don't need to hold that. I don't need to hang on to this. I can let it go very, very easily if I remember the reality. Now, why don't we remember the reality when we get in those spaces? Because we don't fully believe it or trust it, right? We're resisting, and we're not only we're resisting, but it's hard to believe it, right? It's hard to believe that what this is saying is true. And early on, Bill Thetford said to Helen, if this is true, then this means we got to change a lot of stuff here. If this is true, then this is a major shift. This is calling for a major reversal, about face, right? Only the ego can lose face, right? Taking up the course is not a loss in any regard, right? Returning home to love is not a loss in any way, and we cannot lose in returning to love, our true nature, our true reality. We think, I've said this before, that from our identification with the ego, which is very deep, runs very deep, the thought of losing our egoic identity is very scary, and we think that that's going to be the end of us. We're going to be snuffed out. That's no more me, right? And Jesus comes to tell us that that's not true. That's what the ego wants you to think. Paragraph 2, the mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received. And it is this that we would learn today. So what is the mercy? Why does Jesus bring in mercy? It's forgiveness, right? If God is all merciful, and remember that in God's world, mercy is not even needed, right? Because God doesn't even know about the separation. God does not know there's a problem, right? So there's no mercy or forgiveness on God's part, but we ascribe to God this idea of being all forgiving and all merciful, because that helps us to remember, if God is that way, then that's how we really are as well, right? So we extend to our brother, to all our brothers, we say, you are forgiven, and in that forgiveness, I am forgiven as well, right? Because we're not any different. We're not any separate. So, therefore, next time, all right, I'm gonna make this joke. Next time you see Donald Trump or someone that really irks you or makes you upset, you just say, hey, thanks, bro. You are doing a great job. Doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, right? So am I. And I hold nothing against you whatsoever. You are the one Son of God, just as I am. Do a very short version of the song. It's a little hard to see here, so I'm gonna see if I can do it. sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received, and it is this that we will learn today. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received, and it is this that we will learn today. I am not asked to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. The mercy and the peace of God are free. Salvation has no cost. It is a gift that must be freely given and received, and it is this that we will learn today. And it is this that we will learn today. Yeah, buddy. And it is this that we will learn today.
Put it back in his mouth when he closes it.
Yeah, bro.
Finishing.
Wanna say bye?
Ah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.